Oh, hey, it's Poppin' B. Purpok here. Sorry, you just caught me in the middle of some online shopping. Ooh, Hollywood Super Action Volume 1. Who Killed Captain Alex and Bad Black? For only $20. Where's my wallet? Thanks, mysterious apparition. Got nothing. I was this useless €10 note. Damn it. If only I understood more about saving and earning money. But all I understand is video games. What's this?
Wall Street Kid. Also, yes, this is my real thumb. Say hi.
Well, maybe this can help me learn how to spend my money better. I don't know if it's likely, but hey, it's worth a shot. Well, if people can make good games out of simulations of being a border patrol guard, browsing the 90s internet, and drinking soda, then why not make a game based off of the stock market, I guess. To begin with, let's take a look at the cartridge itself. Just soak it in. Look at those rich colors and the Silver Age comic book aesthetic. Wall Street Kid himself wouldn't look too out of place at Pop's malt shop sitting next to America's boy next door, Archie Andrews. Why does he have his foot up on this bag of money? Did he defeat this bag of money? And then there's the other characters, this gaggle of completely average-looking strangers that are apparently supposed to get us excited to play this. And then, tucked away in the corner, we have a lady who I'm assuming is the kid's girlfriend, calling him my hero. It's amazing just how hard they tried to make this cover look fun and cool. It honestly comes off a little bit desperate when you just look at the title and remember that this game is called Wall Street Kid. And considering that I was able to buy this game for $7 in such pristine condition, I have what you might call a hunch that this particular copy of Wall Street Kid didn't see a lot of love. Does it deserve any love? Let's find out. I wonder if putting this game in is really a sound investment. As the game begins, we see that it was developed by a company called So Fell, which of course stands for So, fell off the face of the earth, did ya? And here's the title screen, and some lovely music. Well, music of some kind. And it's here that we're introduced to even more amazing characters who will be making appearances in this game. What's with these names? Larry the lofty lawyer, Connie the arrogant advisor, Doc the bogus boat salesman? Yeah, spoiler alert, most of these people are basic NPCs that you interact with, not really characters, but we'll get back to that. Trust me, we'll get back to that. So as the game actually begins, Larry the lawyer is telling you that your rich uncle has died, and as his only living relative, you have the ability to inherit over $600 billion in assets? Seriously? In 2019, this amount would be over $1.2 trillion. It would be more than double. And in order to claim this money, you take out a loan with Larry of $500,000, I'm not making that joke, and turn it into millions in the stock market in a matter of months in order to buy back your uncle's family castle. And he also tells you to pick up some nice things for yourself and a sweetheart along the way. So let me get this straight. You're playing as a vapid blonde coasting on inherited wealth, investing all his savings into the stock market, and getting stuck in a shallow relationship in order to preserve an extravagant tradition and become the 1% just because some random guy told him to? Wow, I don't think I've ever related less to a protagonist. Now if you excuse me, I'm going to go eat dog food for nourishment. I'd choose to eat this way. Anyway, here we are at the main screen. The main object on display here is your Apple II computer, which unfortunately, no, you cannot play Commander Keen or Duke Nukem 2 on. It is instead mainly used for buying and selling stocks and viewing your portfolio. There's a vase of flowers, which are apparently orchids, that lets you do activities with your wife in order to keep her happy with you, because that's also something you have to do. I'm assuming it's a vase of flowers because it perfectly represents your relationship. A once beautiful thing visibly withering away in confinement before your very eyes that you are powerless to stop. Then there's a barometer, yes, a barometer, that I guess lets you check the weather so you know where it would be good to work out today in order to stay healthy, because that's also something you have to do. Can't check stocks without some pep in your step. And then there's the clock, which keeps track of what time it is in the game day, changing every 15 seconds, 1 minute is an hour, and which will skip to the next day if you click on it. We'll check in on these 3 buttons over here later. As far as the NES goes, the graphics are alright. There's very little going on most of the time, and I mean very little, but when something happens, you can generally tell what that something is, and it looks fine. Most of the time, though, you'll be seeing long lists of names and numbers and mostly black screens, so get used to the lack of color, or really any kind of unique audio-visual stimulation. Almost like real stock trading. But enough beating around the bush. Let's get into the meat and potatoes, and vegetables, and soup, and spice, and bowl, and fucking spoon of Wall Street Kid. The stock trading. You have 8 in-game hours a day to get things done. And no, they don't tell you how long it takes to do things, you have to figure that out yourself. And you need to figure out for yourself what the most efficient way to spend each day is in order to reach your monetary goals in time. Your first goal is to reach $1 million in 4 in-game weeks in order to afford a nicer house. And that might seem like a lofty goal, but that's just because it totally is. This is somewhat alleviated by the fact that balancing your all-important schedule isn't challenging even in the slightest. Yeah, you need to keep your girlfriend happy and stay healthy while also getting rich to ensure you don't game over, but you can alternate between the quickest and the second quickest methods of satisfying both your health and your girlfriend every day and never worry about running low in either category, and still have time to check and trade stocks because the stock trading takes almost no time at all. So the whole time management thing is just a needless little thing they slap on top of the whole thing to add stress and make the whole experience feel pushy and needy and like nothing's really in your control, which it isn't because you're dealing with luck nearly all of the time. Which brings me to my biggest problem with this game. You actually may have noticed it already because nearly all of the footage that I've used so far has shown off this issue. This, of course, being that this is a game about the goddamn stock market. Seriously, why would you ever make a completely straight-faced stock market simulator? It might be a somewhat interesting idea, but it's just not something that you gamify because it's almost entirely luck-based. And more to the point, it's just not fun. I mean, at least in the case of stuff like Soda Drinker Pro, there's actually something deeper to find in it. There's more of a game in there. And while it's got pretty fringe gameplay that's not terribly interesting, the thing that it's based off of is inherently fun, at least, drinking soda. But with Wall Street Kid, all you do is scrimp together a measly profit over and over again by taking stabs in the dark based on percentage changes, possibly false or inaccurate insider tips, and taking out loans from the bank by mortgaging things you've already earned. Sure, it's fairly unique, but how the fuck is it fun or fair? Okay, full disclosure. I never managed to successfully earn enough money for the house, and I tried several times. Frankly though, considering the core gameplay that I've been exposed to, and also knowing that it never really evolves past that, I don't feel as though I have to keep playing in order to say that this game is boring and bad. Because it's boring and bad, especially considering just how stacked against you this game is. I think it's about time we get to those 3 buttons on the main screen. These buttons are links to 3 different characters who will help you in your stock trading quest. There's Ruth, a bank teller who lets you mortgage your collateral in order to get temporary boosts of cash, but whose services you can't use until you've gotten the house, so she's useless to me. Sorry. There's Stanley, who tells you basic information about the stock market that you need to play the game, as well as useless crap that applies to the real-world stock market, but not to the gameplay, all for the same small fee. And lastly, there's Connie, who will give you tips on what to buy along with a free pun based on the company she mentions. Something for free in this game? That's insane. In general, these guys aren't totally useless, but the benefits they offer you aren't nearly helpful enough to actually turn the tides of the market if you're falling behind. Like it or not, it's a numbers game. And even when you're as diligent as possible, luck can and often will still be stacked against you. Want to know how I know this? Well, it's because my brother Cole played this game too, and he did his best to play it as skillfully and practically as possible. He's not an economist, but he does have multiple stocks in real life, and he is very interested in economics. After a few trial runs to figure the game out, he started a fresh file and played for an entire hour, taking diligent notes and never rushing into any decision.
Blue chip cyclical. Check. Okay, stuffs. Carnivore. Check. Rattle. Check. Coin. Plus. Xerox.
This is how you optimally play Wall Street Kid.
And you know what happened next? He still lost! He did this stupid stock nonsense for nearly an entire hour and still came up around $200,000 short of the first goal after all that. And he would have tried again, but he was too busy eating cat food for nourishment. And just to rub it in, when you fail, you have to reset the game or turn it off. You can't just press A or start to start again from the beginning. No. You have to turn the game off, just to make it that little bit more of a chore. Fuck off, Wall Street Kid. But fine, whatever. I'll play by your rules and start my own file where I left off with it. I'll just go ahead and enter my password. What the fuck is this? What in the name of Steve Blum's bleeding throat is this password screen? Why is this password 45 characters long? I know that this game has a lot of variables, and I'm sure there's lots of save states, but there cannot possibly be more than there are atoms in the universe. And look at all these white highlighted boxed letters and percentage signs too. Was all this extra crap really necessary? Imagine being a kid and having to write down this password. It's already bad enough that you either blew your allowance on this game, or your parents got this for you and you're stuck with it until you beat it. But imagine also having to buy notebooks or printer paper or something too, because this shit's not gonna fit on a fucking post-it note. Secondly, how are you supposed to write down the white letters? Highlight them? Draw boxes around them? Seriously, why would they do this? Why would they do this? And to put the cherry on it, it took me nearly 5 whole actual minutes just to type in this ungodly string of numbers because I made a few mistakes and had to go back. And even without those, it would have taken me multiple minutes to do this. And all of that just so I could lose the game again like 20 minutes later. Oh my god. I've had enough of this crap. Oh, what's this? Electronics company makes it big with high-stakes game. Soon to be number 1? Yeah, it'll be number 1 alright. Number 1 in the trash?!
That's Wall Street Kid, I guess. It didn't really teach me how to save or earn money that well, or really give me any positive benefit of any kind. It's way too hard, it's way too boring, and it just feels like work. If the attempt was to make a game that makes it feel like you're living the fantasy of living the dream and beating the system, they completely failed. They should have tried to make a game that was more fun before they focused on making a very accurate stock market simulator. Realism is not always a benefit. You want to play a game that really helps you live out the fantasy of beating the system and getting super rich? Just play Monopoly. Hell, there's a pretty decent NES version of Monopoly. Why not just play that? Or, if you want to wait for an actually good stock game, Cole's making one. Yeah, my brother Cole, whom you saw earlier eating cat food, is currently working on a game called Can You Defeat Stockmania? And a small part of it is a stock game. What's the rest of it? That's a surprise. You'll have to wait for whenever it's released to find out. As for me, I think I've had enough of playing stock games for a while. And I am going to go eat more dog food. I can't get enough of that grain filler taste.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. You made it to the end. Thanks a whole extra lot. I'm glad that these videos are turning out well and people seem to be responding well to them. If you'd like to leave me any feedback, comments, that'd be really awesome. I appreciate any kind of sharing or likes or anything. I am still just starting out. And I really do want to hear what you think about this. Don't hold back. And, yeah, next one, not sure. Should be out in maybe a week or so, just like this one was. Not sure how long I can keep that up, but I'll try my best to be consistent. If you'd like to keep up to date with any projects that I'm working on and when a new video might come out or anything else I'm doing, you can follow me on Twitter at PurplePocketPirate. And there isn't really a central location for
where Cole's working on Stockmania right now, but you can check out some of the music from the game. There's some links in the description. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching this. Wall Street Kid sucks. I'm glad I was able to share that so no one else played it thinking it might not suck. And I'll see you guys next time. Again, which is hopefully soon. Thanks a lot. Have a great night, you guys. Take care. That grain filler taste.